Miami Heat and the Milwaukee Bucks. The Heat played them. Yep. They blew them out. I mean, it was a gigantic. It was a blowout, but Drew Holiday and Brook Lopez did not play. The Heat looked scary defensively. Hero had a great game as well off the bench. If the Heat were to see the Bucks in the playoffs again, who would win this matchup? And I'm going to start with JC because I know that you have an ongoing bet with Riv about this topic.
If they play in the playoffs in the first, second round,
whenever.
Whatever. So I was telling Riv all off season with the additions of Kyle Lowry, PJ Tucker. I think Miami obviously is probably going to be the best team defensively in the league, in my opinion. I mean, 1 through 5, they're really good on defense. They can switch. They have Bam. Me and Riv were arguing about that Milwaukee and Miami series last year. I was telling him that they have the recipe to stop Giannis, but he said that he didn't really even play well in that first round of series. But I was getting to the fact that Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton, if they play this Miami Heat team, they're going to need Giannis to be MVP level Giannis. And I don't know if he can do that against Miami because you have Bam Adebayo, you have PJ Tucker, you have Jimmy Butler, you have a lot of guys who you can throw at him. And then on top of that, I feel comfortable putting Bam on him the entire game and having Jimmy Butler guard Chris Middleton, have Kyle Lowry guard.
Why do you need Kyle Lowry and Chris Middleton to play? Why do you need Giannis to play MVP level? Why?
Because you're gonna put your hope in Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton carrying them again in this series with Giannis not underperforming, but he wasn't playing to his standard against Miami.
They swept
and
him.
Didn't
need him.
Now now my point is now you're gonna need him though.
So you think Kyle Lowry, PJ Tucker change the sweep that much?
Yes.
Okay.
And then with how Tyler Hero's playing out, albeit it's been 2 games. Me and you had our debate about him. If he continues to be this spark of the bench 6th man of the year, that's going to be great. And then we're not even talking about Victor Oladipo, another guy who's a very good defender.
We got to wait and see.
I think this team has the personnel to build the wall that troubles Giannis. People saying that it's not going to work anymore. He's getting a little jump shot. I don't know. They have the personnel to guard him with the wall, or they have the personnel to put somebody who's like one of the really rare players that you can put him on the island with Giannis and feel comfortable, and Bam Adebayo. That's why he was my pick to be Defensive Player of the Year. But on top of that, it's just a lot of experience. You have Kyle Lowry, who's a champion. You have the Miami, who went to the championship in the bubble. You have Jimmy Butler, who's a dog. You have PJ Tucker, who just came off a championship. This team is really constructed to really guard any team in the NBA, and they're going to be the kryptonite for the Milwaukee Bucks. So I do think that if they meet in the playoffs, I'm going to stand on my statement. I do think that they can beat the Bucks. They have the personnel, they have the players, they have more offense. They're a perfect team defensively, offensively. They have a playmaker in Lowry. They got shooting. This team is perfect. This is a perfect team to upset the Bucks or the Nets. Not just the Bucks, just the Nets as well. So I think the Miami Heat are going to beat the Bucks if they meet in the playoffs. You can book it.
And you guys have a bet, right?
Yes.
What's the bet? How much?
What was it?
I think it was like 100, right?
Yeah.
We got $100 bet. So Miami, don't let me down. But I mean, I'm not going to put too much stock into that regular season games that didn't have Drew or Brooke. But geez, bro, it's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough. It's going to be tough. Tucker, baby, champion.
I won't lie, JC, you just tweaked right there. You did your thing.
No, I've been thinking about this all offseason. Sure. I like this team.
You got me sold on Miami. I was like,
I like this team. This team's very good. Rip, wait. Before you go, do you think Miami can beat them? Just before, you think the Bucks are gonna win, but would you be surprised if Miami wins?
No.
Okay.
But
that's the respect right there.
You said a lot. You said a lot just now.
Never fold.
No. I like Miami's team. Miami's team is defensively constructed, but I think Milwaukee has the personnel to guard Miami. Same way that they do. I think Drew Holiday is a perfect guy for Jimmy Butler or Kyle Lowry or Tyler Hero. It doesn't really matter. Anybody at the guards. I think Chris Middleton's a plus defender. He can guard also. And Giannis is there. I think with losing PJ Tucker, that's huge. He was, if he wasn't the number one guy guarding Jimmy, it was him. It was him first and Drew and Giannis. They all split time. They all split time guarding him. And they did a wonderful job of locking down Jimmy Butler. Yeah. And it led to a sweep. I think with the additions that they did get, though, Grayson Allen, Jordan Noah starting to play. He's a really good shooter. Yeah. I think they added some shooters where even though they did lose PJ Tucker and they did lose the defense, they've gained a little bit of offense. Now, granted, I'm not going to put too much into that loss, not because it was a regular season game, but just because Brooke and Drew Holiday didn't play, and those two guys are key for for Milwaukee's team. But I do think that offensively, Giannis has never played good or great against Miami. He's never dominated Miami. Yeah. He's never done what he's done to other teams to Miami.
And it's probably an added incentive for him to go crazy.
So that's one question that I have for you. You know how like he didn't really play well last year against them? Do you think they can get by this Miami team without him playing that well? I think you need him to be that player. And I don't know if he can be. I think
watching him play now, you see
definitely better.
He's definitely added onto his game, and this team looks a lot more confident. And I think that goes into play. I think Miami is kind of chasing Milwaukee, and when you're chasing somebody, you're kind of looking to just beat them, and it kind of could hurt you in a way. So but Milwaukee, with the personnel they have, I think they'll still be fine. Even if Giannis doesn't go off, Drew and Middleton, because I think if Giannis, they have enough to neutralize Jimmy Butler. So and you saw when Jimmy Butler wasn't on, Miami couldn't do anything. Like there's nothing that they could have done. After game one, it was blowout, blowout, blowout. They couldn't do anything. Jimmy was in the chamber.
That's why I think
with Kyle Lowry, Kyle Lowry
with Tyler Hero playing better and Oladipo coming back, he can give you some offensive spark. You got Duncan.
But it's like Tyler Hero. You have to see consistency. Oladipo, you have to see him healthy. But I think they match up well. But I still like Drew Middleton. I still like that big three of Drew Middleton and Giannis, because Drew can neutralize anybody on Miami, and the same with Giannis. I still would take Bucks. I'll probably say Bucks in 6.
It's funny that you said that you think Miami's really constructed to beat the Bucks, right? To like they constructed their team to beat the Bucks, right? It's funny. Like I'm not gonna like go back and forth with this, but I heard somebody on NBA TV say like this was a game that Miami had circled. Like, Miami was gonna go. So this
PJ Tucker said it.
Yeah, they're gonna go all out when they play the Bucks. So I mean, I think this. You said this is the best rivalry in basketball the other day.
I think it's the best rivalry in basketball right now.
I think it's up there.
You want to know?
I have fun watching them play.
You want to know why?
I like the Warriors and the Rockets one.
Okay,
now?
but that doesn't. That's not an ongoing thing. You want to know why the Heat and the Bucks are the best rivalry in the NBA right now? Because no other team in the past 2-3 seasons we could say that they have met in the playoffs twice already.
More.
The Heat dominated the Bucks in the bubble. And then the Bucks the very next year swept the Heat to win the championship.
Yeah.
They got by them in the first round. It's about time this season that we get a 7-game series between these two teams. Like, I want a 7-game series.
Yeah, me too.
And I think it's going to happen this year. If they face in the playoffs, we're going to get a 7-game series. It's going to go down to the wire.
Disclaimer, I need Brooklyn to get that number 1 seed because I do not want to play these guys in either one of these teams in the second round. I'd rather them have it duke it out.
That's kind of like Houston and the Warriors, though, because
they saw each other damn near every year.
They saw each other a lot, and the Warriors had their number. I mean, it didn't go to 6. It went to 5 until Chris Paul came. Now it's going to 6. Now it's going to 7.
Even when it was going to 5, it was still good games.
Competitive,
it was
down
still
to the wire.
Competitive games.
So regardless. I think this and the Knicks and Hawks, I think they have the best rivalry.
In the East, yeah.
Yeah, because in the West, what rivalries amongst the playoff teams really?
Warriors, Lakers right now.
That's always a good one.
Clippers and Lakers, it's not really a rivalry. They haven't faced in the playoffs
I think
yet.
Clippers and Dallas is a good one.
Clippers
and Dallas is a really good one.
But it's one-sided so far.
Red, would you say Bucks and Nets is a rivalry too?
No, not yet.
You don't think so? I feel like everybody circles that game when they play.
I think I like Nets and Knicks games better, honestly.
Oh, I love those games too.
Those are more aggressive for me. I like those personally.
But I mean, what do you guys think about Miami?
I'll let you go first.
Yeah, go ahead, Drew.
So the question initially was, would the Heat beat the Bucks?
Do you think they can beat? Do
you believe they could?
If they face, what do you think?
That's what I'm saying. I'm 1 game in with the Heat, 2 games in with Milwaukee, and Milwaukee opening day schooled the Nets, who I had as my number 1 team in the East.
They schooled
so
us.
it's hard to gauge right now. Could they beat Milwaukee? They could beat them. Do I think they right now necessarily will, especially after as you guys said, no Drew Holiday, no Brook Lopez? I'm not
a
ready.
fair assessment.
Yeah, it's not the fairest of assessment. And if I'm being honest, Miami had as perfect as a game as you could have. You go and you score over 40 points in the first quarter, and it takes them almost 6 minutes to get out of single digits. It was a perfect storm by Miami. Bam Adebayo looked special game 1. I'm not going to front. His transition offense was spectacular. His defense on Giannis was very good. The way that they were running the pick and roll with Jimmy and Bam was very clean. Tyler Hero, how we spoke on preseason, he needs to be this off-the-bench spark for them. 27 points in the opening night. You couldn't ask for anything better from this team. I'm just going to go down the list real quick, and then I'll let you go, Joel. PJ Tucker, plus 31. Butler, plus 27. Adebayo, plus 30. Lowry, plus 22. Robinson, plus 29. Hero, plus 27. It was a perfect game from from Miami against a banged-up Milwaukee Bucks team. I'm not taking too much stock into it, but I am respecting, without a doubt, what Miami did.
I mean, I told you guys in the offseason, and I was wearing this shirt when I said it as well. I said, if the Bucks didn't go out and trade for PJ Tucker, they wouldn't have won the championship. And in that playoff run, in terms of defensive rating, Tucker finished at the best. In terms of net rating, he finished with the highest. I thought that was a big loss. And Tucker's a guy that Mark Jackson has said on commentary when he was commentating on the Rockets game before. He said, if you don't love his game, you don't love basketball. He said PJ Tucker spells win.
Huh? The guy that got fired said that.
Ooh, that's mean. Come on, bro. He built your
Respect
Splash Bros.
Mark Jackson.
Like,
so PJ Tucker's a special player. I know that if I know that his stats aren't glamorous.
Can we say he's a special role player?
He's
a special role player. Though.
I think he's a special guy, man. He's a special guy. Shoe collection is crazy.
He's a special role player.
Every team Tucker has been on from in 2014 to 2015 when he was with the Suns, that fan base loves him. When he was with Toronto, a short stint, they love him. When he was with Houston, Rockets fans love PJ Tucker. And then in Milwaukee, the fans have embraced him already. And, they won a championship with him. And now in Miami, Heat fans are going to love PJ Tucker as much as I love him. I'm his number one fan. I love Tucker, man. PJ.
Tuck.
But this game was over after the first quarter. There was no need to watch it. The first quarter ended like this. Max Struss had a block, and then Tyler Hero hit this like a logo three. Yep. And that's the end of the first quarter. I was like, it's over.
That was lit.
That pull-up three.
That back-to-back play was nuts.
But their defense was suffocating. Their effort was there. Good. PJ Tucker's impact was felt early on defense and even on offense. And the entire defense just had great energy. I already said what I had to say about the Heat earlier when I said this is the best rivalry in the NBA right now, and I'm hoping they face in the playoffs and we get a 7-game series between these two teams. Definitely. Because I think it's warranted. In the bubble, the Heat embarrassed the Bucks, and then last year the Bucks embarrassed the Heat. It's about time we get an even series between these two teams. And Giannis last year, they swept the Heat, but he averaged 22 points per game. He had his worst series of that entire playoff run. If they play again, I don't think Jimmy Butler shoots 22% from the field. I think Lowry adds playmaking and leadership and toughness and defense. I think if they face again in Miami, he would win.
No, you take it.
You know what you're forgetting.
I was right. I'm 2 for 2 so far.
What?
2 years ago, when the Bucks faced the Heat in the bubble, it was a hot take to say Miami would beat them.
He did call it.
I said Heat would beat them. Last year, I called the Bucks beating the Heat. And now this year, we're going to see.
What about how do you feel about Oladipo? Like, I know, I feel like he's important too.
He has to stay healthy.
Him staying healthy,
I'm not ready to give a firm opinion yet.
I gotta wait to that team
because obviously he has a skill set.
Who?
Oladipo. Oh. But you can't rely on him to be on the court for when you need him most, truthfully. Last season, you trade for him at the trade deadline, thinking that he would be that X factor piece for you. That was their big move of the trade deadline. And then it obviously ended up backfiring with an unfortunate injury. But that's been the story of Oladipo's career
the past
up
couple of years.
point.
Yeah, it's true.
I think every single time we talk about the Bucks on this show, Bucks fans are always mad.
I mean, have
you seen the comments on we made a video about Giannis and where he ranks, like the start bench cut, like the KD, Kawhi, and Giannis, and a bunch of Bucks fans were just mad.
Y'all were hating. Y'all were hating.
I'm hating because I think Kawhi's better.
Yes.
That's
at this point in time, though.
It's ignorant.
At this point in time,
healthy Kawhi, I still think he's on par with Giannis. I'm so serious.
Not right now.
I don't think it's so
Not
far
right
off.
now.
I don't think it's far off at all.